Hello, internet world. Let's see. We're going to go live on Instagram too. We're going to be real wild today. Hello. It's Sarah here of the Sisters Enchanted. Hello, and I'm on my phone on Instagram because I don't know what software to use to be there too. I am coming at everybody in all of the places here. So hello, happy Wednesday. We are well into the second half of the year now. So again, I'm just telling everybody I'm on my computer and on my phone. So I'm like looking up, I'm looking down, I'm looking all over the place, but I can see all the comments and I can't see you, but I know that you're there, which is only kind of creepy. We are in the second half of the year officially. So if you're here right now watching this, I want you to ask yourself how the first half of the year went. How's the first half of the year gone for you? I got to move my phone. I'm trying to talk to everybody at the same time. There, maybe this way. How has the second half of the year, or how has the first half of the year treated everybody? That's not better either. What was going on for you this first half of the year? So listen, I just recorded a podcast episode about this, but I thought I'd come talk about it too because it's I think a timely topic here. It's Cancer season, right? For a couple more weeks here. Is it even 2 whole weeks? Like the 22nd, right? We get out of here. It's Cancer season. What do we know about Cancer? We know that Cancer is represented by the crab with its shell on its back. What does a crab do when a crab feels vulnerable? A crab feels defensive. A crab feels put upon. One, it pinches, right? It can pinch. Number two, that crab will hide in its shell. It will hide in its shell. So I have an invitation for you as we get this started. I'm going to talk more about summer energy, the different associations that come with the summer season, all of those things. But I want to start here asking you about this crab energy. What happens? It retreats, right? So this first half of the year that we just went through, ask yourself the question, where did you retreat instead of come out and pinching to get what you want in this life or create the space for yourself and dig out, like dig the area for you to take up space and live in your life, right? Where did you retreat? Where did you pull back and hide out of fear of being vulnerable or being like defeated, like a crab on an ocean floor, right? These are questions that Cancer can bring up for us. And it's the perfect time for that because it is the time of year to do shadow work. That's what we do during the summer. So when we think about a full moon, we think about manifestation and releasing and creating, right? And we're doing all of that. We're doing this release work so we can make space for what we want. We release so we can create. We do shadow work so we can manifest. We do that with the full moon. We do it in the summer as well. And Cancer is the first step in that, asking ourselves, where have I been retreating? Where have I been retreating? Then we move into Leo season, which is that fire energy that aligns with summer even more so. And we remember that we have the strength to move forward. We have the strength to create what we want to create in our lives. And this combination here that we move through in the summer energy with the zodiac is absolutely amazing for it's amazing for shadow work. It's a great priming opportunity for that. So you go ahead. Let's see here. I see some comments. I'm on Instagram on my phone and I'm up here on my computer everywhere else. So I'm doing the like look and dance. I see Carol over here is hello, Carol. It's nice to see you. Carol, we're hosting Expedition to Soul and Magic Week over in our community group, which I'm pretty sure you have access to. So come on over and say hello. We're kicking off July 17th, Carol. Carol's saying, I love seeing your face, hearing your positivity. I've missed you. And Carol, you're going to see a whole lot of us over in the group. So get in there, Carol. And I'm seeing over here that on Instagram had a dream about this retreating before I make my goals. Yes. Lizette says this started rejuvenated. This half, I love that. But the first half was awful. Yeah, it's been a year for sure. So I have the question, what is shadow work? Oh my goodness. On Instagram, You're asking that question, head to our bio. We have a video class for you on shadow work, but I will give you a quick debrief on that right now as well. So, shadow work is basically looking at shadow work can be a bigger complex topic, right? But how we teach it is really looking at you right now and where your past stories are keeping you stuck, identifying those past stories so you can create a different future. So, I describe it a lot as kind of like a timeline where you're in the middle and you have all of these things happening in your life today. And as you're moving through life, past stories are interjecting themselves into your life right now. And then that way that you're receiving it is casting your future. And so shadow work is understanding these stories and seeing them for what they are and integrating them into your wholeness. The tendency is to say, like, I have to rise above, I have to be better, I shouldn't let that bother me. And in that way, we're just pushing away all of the shadow stuff. But the reality is that these pieces of us that feel very vulnerable, they feel hurt, they feel neglected, we got to love on them and acknowledge them and bring them back into all of our energy so that we can bring them with us to cast a different future, because those experiences made you who you are today. And part of shadow work too is understanding why we do things that keep us from our joy and our happiness. So part of this is looking at, what are you doing in your life to take up time every day that is not in alignment with the life you want to be living? That's not in alignment with who you want to be or where you want to be. And it's just kind of like a life distraction. So when we aren't doing our shadow work, it's really easy to sort of just like wake up every day, do the same thing, go back to bed, wake up the next day, do the same thing. And until we do our shadow work, we can really understand, well, where am I doing things because I've kind of been taught to do them, told I should do them, conditioned to do them. But really, I don't care to be doing this. And it's not in alignment with what I truly value and who I am at my core. And shadow work helps to do all of that, right? Like helps us to bring all of that back into center. And we teach, so we have a whole method we teach. It's the 5I methodology, and it helps you to get more present in who you are right now so that you can deepen into your intuition. You do shadow work along the way, and you rewrite the stories of your energy so that you can cast a different future, or a future that's more aligned with how you want to feel. Because so many of us want to feel ways we don't feel. We want to feel more confident at work. We want to feel more valued in our homes. We want to feel more desirable, maybe. I don't know. How do you want to feel? We want to feel ways, but we don't know how to take action to feel that way. And that starts with being intentional. And then as we're more intentional, we're more present in ourselves, we're doing that shadow work, our intuition grows, and then we can trust ourselves to know the way forward and to know the next step, to know the next right thing for us. And so that all comes with time, but shadow work is certainly part of that. And in the summer is where we contend. I mean, you can do shadow work like every single day. I'm doing it constantly. It's just part of who I am. It's part of the way I think and talk to myself. I'm constantly like running different things through my mind, right? But when we look at rhythms and cycles to help us connect to energy patterns and to help us really ground into supportive systems that are accessible for us, like the moon phases, the seasons of the year. This is all built in. All these rhythms are built in to help us create the time and space to do this, right? And so summer is a beautiful time to do this. So is that full moon energy. I see this great question, but it can be hard to do when everyone around you is not supportive. Yes, definitely head to our bio and Instagram and check out that shadow work video because I speak exactly to that. The number one thing I think that keeps people back from their growth journey, or many people come to us at the Sisters Enchanted because they are at a crossroads in their life and they're like, I have just woken up and realized that I want something different. They want to deepen their spiritual practice, or they want to grow their confidence so that they can live this life that they desire to be living. That's why many people come here. It's kind of the three big ones, right? But when other people in our lives aren't doing the same work as we are, or their spiritual beliefs don't align with ours, or they think it's all a bunch of nonsense that you have, that you like astrology and tarot cards, or You follow the moon cycles, and it can be challenging to stay in your fullest representation of yourself and your authenticity when other people either have something to say about it, or if you're growing and the people around you aren't growing, or if you're doing shadow work and the other people in your life aren't. That can be very challenging. And that's where we set boundaries and reinforce our boundaries, and we do that work together as well. But this summer season, let's check any comments here too. So all right, here we go. So this is the summer season, and one of the things summer is perfect for is shadow work. It's aligned with that sort of energy. It is also aligned with a fire energy. And what is fire? It's very transformative, right? That's why you'll see it, a lot of full moon sort of suggestions and ceremonies. Folks will do a burning kind of ritual where you write down something you want to release, you burn it, and let it waft away into the ethers to be received by the universe. And that's because fire can transform. Fire can keep us warm. So it can be also very nurturing in that way, but it's transforming the air, right? There's all that science there that is helping to support us. Fire can clear the way. It can do all of these amazing things. We think of the energy of a phoenix and how it rises from the ashes. So fire is part of that summer energy. It's aligned with fire. The element of fire is aligned with this season, which ties into that shadow work as well. If you're a tarot card reader, the suit of wands is aligned with fire as well. So that's all part of this seasonal energy here. And then also with the energy of experience. So when we look at the suits in tarot, and then we look at elements, we can also understand them through behaviors, through emotions, through experience, through thoughts and perception. And the energy of summer is aligned with experience. So, how are we experiencing the world around us? Which also ties back into shadow work, because if you don't love how you're experiencing the world around you, it's the perfect invitation to do some shadow work and understand why you're staying in that position and not expanding out of it. Because it really is a decision, and it really is a choice to make to stay stuck or move forward, right? And there are certainly people and places and awful situations all around the world where there truly is no way out and are very stuck. Many of us watching this here today are participating who have access to the internet and the devices and all of this technology and resources available to us. For many of us, it is a choice. That's not the case for everybody. And for a lot of us here who have these accessibility, it is. And so we want to ask ourselves, how are we experiencing the world around us? And is there a decision that I can make to do otherwise? So what got me thinking about this and hopping on live stream today, I was looking at my Shadowlands tarot. I'll just show it. It's really cute. I'll show it. I'm on my, again, I just want to say I'm on my phone and my computer. So I'm looking in all the directions, but it's this really cute tarot deck. And it's got like monster sort of creatures. I just love it. But I was looking at it and I was separating it out for a completely different activity. And I looked at the Ace of Wands, and I'm going to hold it up. I'll hold it to the computer first, and then I'll show it over on Instagram. So the Ace of Wands, it's this figure, and it's sitting in a big hand, and the hand is on fire. And you can't really see it on my camera. Maybe you'll be able to see it down here at Instagram. Oh, now I can't see you. Anyway, the figure is holding a match, and the figure in the hand, the match it's ablaze. So the figure presumably has set the hand on fire. So when we think about experience and how we are living in the world around us and how we're experiencing our lives, right? This card really made me think about this, because we have two choices when we're experiencing life. We can get consumed by the fire, or we can start the fire, right? We can be consumed by it, or we can start it. And wands, with the suit of wands and tarot, tells this story where the first part of wands, it's very promising. And there's like the marriage card, there's all this opportunity. And then when you get to the middle of the wands, the traditional imagery is five people with their wands, their sticks. And it's kind of hard to tell. Are they fighting, or are they just like miscommunicating? They can't work together. Like, what is it? What's going on here? And then after that, things sort of start to quicken up, the pace quickens. And by the end, the 9 of Wands is a person looking really defeated. And the 10 of Wands is a person carrying this big load of wands by themselves, which looks really heavy and really like not cool. And nobody wants to be that person, right? And so when we think though of experience and how we can control experience and how we can create a life around the experience that we want to have, we can look at the knowledge in this story and ask ourselves, like, where are we creating stuckness by just like resisting opportunity because we're afraid of opportunity, or we're too afraid to speak our truth or ask for what we want, or we don't have the confidence or the audacity to say what's on our mind, or to ask for the life we want to live, or just give it to ourselves. Ask ourselves for the thing we want and give it to ourselves, right? Here's the 5 in this deck. And they're like, I don't know what these are. They're like bird narwhals. I don't know. They're owl narwhals or something. Owl narwhals. It's a whole new thing. But they're kind of stuck together, right? But they don't really, I don't know. They don't seem to necessarily be like, their hands are up, but they're kind of just like jammed together with their little narwhal tusks, I guess. But that's a tooth in a narwhal, right? Not owls. Anyway, I digress. And where are we doing that in our own lives? It's like the crab, how I started this. If you've been here since the beginning, where were we retreating because we're feeling vulnerable? Where are we creating resistance in our lives instead of just stopping and like backing our owl narwhal tusks out of the situation? And just saying, you know what? This seems like we're all at resistance. I am at resistance with my own self. And I'm just going to slowly back out of this. And we're going to look at it from a new angle and then move forward. So, summer and this energy, the wands, the fire, the story of experience. How are we experiencing our lives? And how are we creating that experience through our own damn resistance? Because that's often what's happening. We are so quick to look and say, well, this, and this. But really, it's within us. And if you're a person who's here, who uses tarot and crystals and astrology, and you love to manifest with the moon, or like I have a little beeswax candle here that I made with my kids, and we love to do candle work like that and just talk a lot about our inner light and our shadows, and looking at a cup of tea as a spell, not just a cup of tea. If that is you, your experience as connected to all of this is what makes the experience. So you are in the driver's seat of that. All this stuff is just stuff. And how you are aligned with the experience you're living is what creates the magic within it. And the summer season is the perfect time to be looking at this. Here's the 10 of Wands from this deck. And what I love about this one is it's a little mouse carrying all these little mouse logs, but the top one has an apple growing on it, right? So this mouse is going to carry all of these logs, and it's probably heavy. And at the end, though, can put them all down and eat that apple. But the thing is that all of us, though, again, if we don't slow down and really look at how we're creating our experience, that mouse might not even know that apple's up there. And it's just like cursing out the world while carrying that pile. But if the mouse knew that was there, it could be really looking forward to, you know what? I can't wait until I get to set up camp and make this perfect like log circle and invite my friends and eat this apple. And so we really get to create the experience that we're living. And the suit of Wands is a great way to look at that. So when it comes to summer, it's aligned with the suit of Wands, the energy of fire. It is aligned with shadow work. And then in our expansion archetypes model, it's aligned with the energy of the adventurer. So the adventurer and the expansion archetypes, if that's you, if any of you have taken the quiz, that adventurer energy is it's kind of an impulsive sort of energy. And the adventurer can manifest and create in their life through this energy of taking risks and feeling really like emboldened to dive in head first and try new things. But that's also how the adventurer can sabotage when they're impulsive and aren't thinking first about whether or not the risk or whether or not the decision or saying yes to something is aligned with their truest desires, the experience they want to create for themselves. And so this is another one of those kind of shadow work stories that we can all dig out in the summertime. You can find the quiz at it's in our bio if you're on Instagram again, but it's at signup.thesistersenchanted.com/quiz. And we've been sending it out uh, in email. We're actually hosting in in 12 days it starts. We're hosting our virtual magic camp. So it's part of our Expedition to Soul and Expansion Archetypes program. And that starts July 17th. And we're going to do all kinds of goodness. We do a future self visualization, reclaiming your energy, looking at your past, present, and future self. So you can be your own best friend. You will learn your expansion archetype, plus have video lessons for each of the archetypes. And then we also have live teaching going on. Our astrology teachers they never teach like publicly. They always just teach in astrology, which is behind closed doors. And they're teaching a class on Kiara is teaching a class on astrological elements in everyday life. Nick is teaching a class on relationships and astrology, I believe. And Anna and Nick are doing birth chart basics together. Kelly Soroka, she teaches with me in holistic witchery. She's teaching a candle magic class. And then I will be away for the first half of the week. When I come back, we are doing a energy clearing activity and centering visualization. We're doing some community coaching and then also a future vision Mad Libs. So that is all happening the week of July 17th. If you want to check that out, it's the link is in all of the places. We've been putting that everywhere. So you can, and of course, always you can send us a DM too, and our student support folks will get in there and they'll get you all the links that you need for quizzes or resources or whatever it is that you would like to get your hands on our shadow work video. And they will hook you up just as soon as they see it. But so anyway, summertime, perfect for shadow work, perfect for kind of thinking about the experience that you're having in life right now. And if it's the experience you want to be having, or if you want to change your perspective on it. And think about that 5 of Wands or my little owl narwhal who's backing out of its narwhal circle. It's if anybody came on later, it's from the Shadowlands Tarot. And there's these, I don't know what they are. They're like owl monsters with narwhal tusks and they're all stuck together, but they just need to slow down and back away and there won't be resistance. It's the self-created resistance that we all live in for sure. All right, let me see. I see over here on Facebook and YouTube, we've got some familiar faces over here. Hi, Bobby and Christy. And is it Elvine or Elvine over here? I see sharing never been comfortable standing out or really being seen. That's a very seer sort of energy. The seer feels very vulnerable. It's one of our expansion archetypes. Feeling seen and witnessed. And I think that it's pretty common in our community members, like not wanting to be the one who's seen. We really want to like question that and ask, why is it that we don't want to be seen? I think there's a lot of thoughts we have around what kind of person is a person who's seen. Like, what does that mean about you, that you are like loud spoken or rude or just these like preconceived thoughts we have around that type of person, which is all made up information. So when we think about, one of the things we do is we work on energy centers and we do storytelling through our energy centers to ask ourselves, what stories about being seen do we have, in our root energy center, our sacral, or our solar plexus, and where are these coming from? And that helps us do that shadow work as well. All right, let's see here. Hi, Christy, literally being forced to stop through my back out Monday. Oh, that is the worst. I've been there. So sorry, Christy. Back pain, I think, is some of the worst pain that you could possibly have. Hello there. It's Bianca over there on Instagram. Suddenly, I feel like I need an eyeglasses check trying to read that Instagram from my phone at a distance. Last I knew, I had perfect vision. It might not be that way right now. And hello, Brandy. Thank you for hanging out with us today, Brandy. I hope you're enjoying everything over an Enchanted Journey, Brandy. Lots of good stuff in there. I know I saw your name over there. And let's see here. Mr. and Mrs. Smith says, last time I had a 3-way tie between seer, adventurer, and wanderer. I will say I've taken the quiz now 4 times, I think. And I was a wanderer, adventurer, and then I was just a wanderer, and then a wanderer mapper. And this time I was surprised. I was very surprised. I came up a mapper adventurer, and my third highest being a seer, and wanderer was much lower. What's really interesting though is that in my life, so the thing about the expansion archetypes for anybody who's new and doesn't know what those are, they are an archetype system that I don't know if you want to say was just divinely put in my energy to be birthed out into this world. I woke up one day in September and they lived clear as day in my mind, and then I put them on paper. And it's been we've had like 2,500 people who've taken our archetypes class since then, and like just resonates with everybody and such great like learning experiences. But my results this time being a mapper and an adventurer were astonishing to me. But the thing about them is unlike like, you can take the Enneagram. I mean, I've taken like every personality assessment there is to take. Being a person who owns her own business, like people, I'm always taking them for different reasons. But they're more fixed and they take longer, I think, to shift. The expansion archetypes will shift they can shift depending on your energy at the time that you're taking the assessment, which I know other assessments can as well. But the expansion archetypes, the way that the quiz is written is so that it's very like how you're thinking and responding right in any moment is going to have a big impact on your result. And it makes a lot of sense for me because right now with the wanderer, which I've been carrying around for like 9 months now, I'm a Sagittarius, which is a very wanderer energy, and I have ADHD, which is a very wanderer energy. So it makes a lot of sense. But the sabotage part of the wanderer is really around self-worth and wanting to demonstrate a person's worth or your worth through like proving that you're worthy. So by doing different things, really filling your plate. And I will say that in the last 6 months in particular, I have very definitively, worked on this thought that what I do does not determine my worth and my value whatsoever. But what's interesting is that in that, I have found myself really more like planning and thinking to the future and like sticking to plans and getting very detailed in plans and doing a lot of like bulk things at once to make sure I'm prepared, which is very much not my personality. So I can see how that mapper energy like really rose to the top for me. And then that adventurer, I think, is like a little bit of been making some quick decisions lately that I kind of think like, oh, I wish I had slowed down before I made that decision or thought about my experience a little bit more before making that decision. So I can see how those are showing up for me right now. And what was really awesome about getting the results is that already today I've been able to ask myself, okay, so where is it that I'm looking for somebody else to tell me what to do? Or where is it that I'm afraid of not missing an opportunity? So I'm just like leaping without looking, right? So I've already been able to take my new quiz results and apply them to today to sort of filter, well, where am I actually holding myself back? And like retreating into my crab shell, as we were talking about at the beginning, and not moving forward and not trusting myself. Because when we don't trust ourselves, we end up in an energy of resistance. And so we got to trust ourselves. We got to learn how to trust ourselves and make that happen. All right, then. All right. So I guess I will leave you with that. It's summertime. Do some shadow work. Think about this idea of where you were retreating in the first half of the year. You got to go back and listen to the beginning for that. It has to do with the crab shell pinchers. And then the energy of the summer season, and the energy of the suit of wands. You can be the one to light the fire or you can get consumed by the fire. But how you experience life is largely up to the decisions that you make around that. And yeah. All right. Lots to think about. I hope you take away an activity or something to go look at. If you have tarot cards, go pull out your suit of wands and explore how you feel about that energy. Do a little bit of shadow work and just enjoy your summer season. It's a beautiful time to dig into yourself while you're fully supported with that solar energy just providing all that warmth and love for you, for all of us here in the Northern Hemisphere. If you want to join us in our magic camp that I was mentioning, you can do that. We've been shooting the email out with the link all the time. It's in our bio over on Instagram. You can find it on our Facebook page. We'd love to have you. Starts July 17th. It is 27 bucks and it is the best $27 you will spend this whole summer. And I dug our whole astrology team out of the ethers to come teach in it. So you definitely don't want to miss this because they're hard to pin down. I will tell you that. They're very hard to pin down. All right, y'all. Well, thanks for hanging with me. I'm hoping to do some more of these lives coming up. Trying to settle into a less busy season. I hate to use that word busy because busy is a choice, but I bop around a lot. We're always in a different state or residence or about to I have a friend visiting for a week, and then we hit the road for a week. Then we come home. My kids have camp for a week. Then we hit the road for 10 days. Then we're home for 2. We hit the road for a week. We're home for a week. We hit the road for a week. So I don't know. I'm hoping to do more pop on live streams like this. But I got to find the Wi-Fi. That's always the problem, is having the Wi-Fi. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me, and I hope to see y'all at Magic Camp. You can find the link if you're already in Magic Week. If you've done that with us and you know you've taken the expansion archetypes class, then you're all set. You just got to head over to the community group because we got you in there already. All right, y'all. I hope you have a really great day. Thanks for hanging with me, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Okay. Oh, I never know how to end the Instagram lives. Oh, the X. All right. Bye.